My friends, it's a mighty time for us to be a part of this type of event. And we have a lot of things coming up tonight. And we hope that it will be a great time for you. Whenever you have an event of this nature, you have people to come like this, you want them to have an excellent experience, a time in which they would have had a chance to fill their spirits with God's grace and God's love and God's mercy. And we're often reminded that God is working in the midst of our lives and in exceedingly great ways. You know, there's a significant time about how we work in the world in which we live. The world in which I grew up in was more of a literal world, a literary world where we had paper and we had pencils and you typed things. And you didn't use social networks and things like that nature and of that nature. So whenever you do something like that, you get a little different. It begins to move you and to stretch you in ways in which you've never been stretched before. You know, now my daughter sends me stuff with emojis. That wasn't even a term when I was growing up. So I don't have to read. I look at all these little pictures. I'm trying to figure out how, it looks like it's Jeopardy or something. I'm trying to put all the things together. So we're being stretched in the midst of our own world. We're being stretched in all the kind of ways that God is leading and guiding us. And so when you share with events like this, you want to think, well, why do we do this? Why do we do this? Is it about numbers? Is it about gathering people together to say we had more people here than ever? Or is it about trying to speak to people in ways in which they've never spoken to before? And what I'm trying to say to you tonight is that God has something for us. God-sized dreams, God-sized visions, stretching us beyond the boundaries, allowing us to see that God is asking us to do the great and the greater. And God is never going to ask us to do something that God is not going to equip us to achieve. People have been asking me about numbers. My thing that I've asked is that, sometimes Michelangelo said it this way: it is better to dream bigger dreams and miss than to dream smaller dreams and hit them. It is better to build and to dream bigger dreams and miss than to dream smaller dreams and hit it. Well, give or take a few, I don't know. We got about close to 1,200, between 1,100 and 1,200 people here for this event. The final tabulations are going to be made, and we'll have all the numbers. But I'm telling you, I've been seeing, my wife has been telling me, she says she's been sending all these things. She says, people are talking about this event. People are talking about this event. And I said, well, let them talk. The more they talk, that's better for us. But I want to let you know how this came about in my spirit. Someone asked that question earlier today. One of the scriptures that has been really important to me has been Isaiah 6, 1-8. It's a call narrative for Isaiah. And it's a message. It was in the year the king Uzziah died. He comes into the temple. He sees the Lord high and lifted up, and his train is filling the temple, and all kinds of stuff is happening. And he realizes that he was from the community. And by being a product of the community, he says, I'm a person of unclean lips because I dwell with the people of unclean lips. He realized that he was no better than the community that he had come from, and that he had something to do, and God had something to do with him. And the scripture says that Seraphim took a hot coal. I don't know what that hot coal may have been like, but it must have been something to put upon his lips to clean him out, to purify him for the task that God had him to do. And my friends, for me, it's important because after that, God began to express to him what he needed to do. There was a community with people who had eyes and they couldn't see, ears and they couldn't hear. There were people and there were things and there were opportunities out there and there were challenges, and he needed someone to go, and he was trying to find someone to go. And Eugene Peterson shared it this way about Isaiah. He says, who will go for me? And the way Eugene Peterson says it, he says, Isaiah said, I will speak up. And Isaiah spoke up. My friends, this event about a God-sized dream and vision is about men and women speaking up for the sake of Christ, speaking up saying we want to be in something that is greater than us, speaking up saying, Lord, use me. Use me. Use me. Well, I tell you what, we ought to be used by God. Just for a few moments more, I want to say something before I have to introduce some other people. But you know, I happen to go to all these ball games. People want me to go to ball games and stuff like that. And I go to all these ball games, and it's interesting. Have you ever been to those ball games? I mean, I go to them, they have different colors like garnet and black and orange and purple, stuff like that. And I don't know, they're not my colors, but they're the colors. But, you know, I go and they invite. And then it's interesting. You get up early in the morning. I mean, you get up early in the morning and you pack all your stuff together. And you go to the place that is designated for you, that is only so big. And you meticulously get your car or van or truck or whatever into that spot. And then you take out all your stuff. You take out your tent. You don't worry about where you put it. Nobody's worried about it's on their side or the other side. You just put your tent up. And then you take out your grill and you begin to get your stuff together. And you begin to cook. Nobody asks whether you have a certificate. They don't even know whether you can cook or not. They don't put a code on there how clean your grill is or not. You just take it out, and all of you just get up, you slap stuff on there, and you start cooking, and you take out your chairs, and you say, come on, sit down. Nobody has their own pew. Nobody's concerned or worried about anything. You don't even charge them. You just come on, get what you want. And then you have a chest with all that libation in there. We won't talk about the libation that's in the chest. And then you don't even charge them for it. You say, hey, listen, just reach in there and get you something. Oh, have a good time. And then you just sit down and people walk all around and you wave at them. And then you wait around and then you get in line, a long old line, to get inside the gates to go to the ball game. And then when you get in, you're patient to wait for everybody who's in front of you. And then you go down this long, steep steps, and you sit on your cement pew. It doesn't have to be cushioned. Don't even have a number on it. You just sit down on it. And everybody crunch up together, and it could be 100 degrees outside. And you sit there. And then it rains. And you just put on your little parka, you sit there and wait it rain all over. You just say, I want to see the ball game. And then they come out there on the field and they play that ball game. And you get up there and you don't even matter how people see you. You're as loud as you want to be. Nobody's telling you to shh. And then when the ball game is over and it's tied, they say we're going to go into overtime. You don't look at your watch and say it's going to be late for me to get to the restaurant. Folks start hollering out, play some more, play some more, play some more. And you sit there till the teams play. And then sometimes you are so late at night staying there, you just leave your car in the parking lot to come back to get it tomorrow. And then nobody wants to get there early. Everybody wants to say, it's parking in my parking spot. Everybody got their own parking spot. They get inside. They need to have the pew just right. It's not padded. My goodness, what kind of church is this? They don't have padded pews in here. They don't know people coming. They don't want to be in padded pews. And then they're looking at the service. It's not starting on time. What is wrong here? Don't they know we have to go to the restaurant before the Baptists and the Methodists and all? What's going on here? We don't get out of here, the Baptist going to beat us. We stay in the later than this, the Pentecostals. What is the priority? What is the priority? I believe at the bottom of my heart that God is saying, I'm looking for a people who are called by my name, who will seek my face, and who will pray and trust. This, I'm looking for men who will speak up on behalf of Jesus Christ and say, I want to be a part of that fellowship. I want to be a part of that kingdom. I want to be a part of what God is doing. So when people are asking, so what is this all in you? And it's about Jesus. It's about Jesus, and it's about you. And it's about connecting you and Jesus together, connecting me and Jesus together, putting the right priorities in order. And when we put the right priorities in order, my friends, we'll look at our world. And when God says, who will go, we will be out there standing up saying, Lord, I speak up. Here am I. Here am I. Here am I. I'll speak. I'll be your spokesperson. I'll be the one who will call upon you and speak to your world and say, now is the time. Do I have anybody in here who wants to speak up? Do I have anybody? Oh, that's pretty weak. Anybody in here wants to speak up? Anybody in here wants to say, Lord, you can count on me. Lord, I'll speak. You ought to stand to your feet and give him some praise. Lord, you can depend on me. Jesus, you can depend on me. Lord, you, Lord, you. You can depend upon me, Lord. My friends, that's why we are here. That's why we are making a difference. That's why you are making a difference. And my friends, when we do this, God will make the difference for us. God will make the difference.